In today's video, I want to show you guys my character build, kind of give you a good idea of everything that I've been doing so far. Probably be a little bit shorter of a video, but give you a good idea of the things that I've been going towards. Now, a lot of the gear you're going to see here is crafted. Some of it is drops, but specifically this happened prior to the March 12th Phoenix credit nerf. So if you know anything about that, basically during the server restart back in March 12th, they reduced the return rate for Phoenix credit on level 30 bosses and named bosses and stuff like that. So instead of receiving like 10 to 15 credits, you only receive 2 to 5 credits now, or even less than that. I don't think you can get up to 5 credits. I think it's like 1 through 3. And I understand why they did that drop rate, but again, if you have the question of how I have so much high-end gear or how I've been doing it, it's because I farmed like crazy prior to that nerf. So effectively, I'm sort of geared out. There are a couple problems with my gear set. I'm not completely done yet. I'm still trying to min-max. But starting with it, I've got the Black Market AK-74. This is the crafted version that you can buy from your vendor. And I rolled out on it, I rolled out Reloading, which is swift. I rolled out Brutal, which is beautiful. Headshot damage is increased by 24% when using this weapon. And the free perk I got is Capable. Using a skill improves the handling of your weapon. That sort of fits for me. The headshot one is really the biggest one that I wanted. I'd like maybe accurate instead of reloading. Reloading I feel like is sort of a gimme perk. It's not that big of a deal. You can spec into it with your mods, etc. But again, so far pretty good. The Capable one works for me because I'm using a semi-decent skill power build. My electronics is low, but my skill power is relatively high, and you'll see why that is. Mod-wise on this, you'll see that I'm running a Muzzle Brake, which is crafted here. This is one of the ones I crafted from the current blueprint. This one has 33% stability, or 37% stability, and 20% reduced threat. Obviously, the 20% reduced threat doesn't matter really in PvP, even though there really isn't too much PvP going on right now. But it's more or less the PvE-centric build where I want to be able to focus on mobs and not have everyone shoot at me, which is pretty decent. The other high end here is the high-end magazine that I created. It has 100% magazine size and 28.10 rate of fire, which is actually really good. Brings the RPM up to from 600 to 769. Definitely very good. The second weapon I'm running here is the Vector, and I just rolled this out this morning. I got really lucky, and I want to be very clear. I have rolled at least 10 of these so far to try to get the perk set that I wanted. Now SMGs are critical hit chance heavy weapons, so it makes sense to stack into critical hit damage or surge rating and maybe a little bit more critical hit chance to see what you can get. Now I got really lucky. I got deadly on mine. Critical hit damage is increased by 26%, and that's actually what I was going for. And on the firearm end, that's a very low requirement. That's not a high requirement for a build. You can really build out a balanced build and still make the most of this. Accurate, obviously, that's decent. It's just making sure the cone is less. On an SMG, that can be very useful. And then the final one is Adept. Using a skill increases your critical hit chance by 8% for 5 seconds. The final one is more or less a gimme. I mean, most MMOs in most games, you never really want to go above a critical hit chance of, say, 30% because there's diminishing returns at a point where it just doesn't make sense. But it's fine for me. I think I have on this build like a critical hit chance of like 40%, and then it's like around 52% with all of the extra gear, mods, and everything working for me. On this one, on the mods at least, I'm rocking another muzzle. This muzzle has 33% stability, and then another 7% critical chance. On the magazine size, this one has 33% magazine size, and then another 7% critical hit chance. So as you can see, I've sort of stacked in. Obviously, if I get an opportunity, I'm going to shift those out for critical hit damage. Critical hit chance is great, but like I'm saying, there's diminishing returns to a certain point where you never really need to go above 30%. Now, if I was getting into, say, like the 50% range on critical hit damage, that would be beautiful. That would be so dope. I would be hitting really freaking hard. Obviously, I don't know if that's even possible. I think at a certain point there has to be something that Massive does or Ubisoft does to really look at some of the ridiculous amount of gear builds you can do, but I digress. On the gear side, I have the Damascus pistol, by the way, crafted. I mean, that's whatever. I just crafted it because I wanted a cool pistol. On the gear side here, I have hybrid armor. The talent on it is forceful, increased armor by 12%, while the signature skill is active, and I run the armor or the security wing signature skill to make the most of that perk. The major attributes are, 8 damage to elites, everything like that. What I did roll and change on this is I added another mod slot so I can take advantage of putting 2 high-end electronic mods in there, which I crafted. And the 7% sticky bomb damage. I am running a medkit sticky bomb build currently, so this really works in my favor. On the mask side, I have 2 of them, but I've been running the strike mask here. This one has 3,000 give or take skill power, which is very useful on this right here, and then another sticky bomb bonus, and then a mod slot that I threw another electronics in. On my knee pads, it has perceptive. Increased credit find bonuses are increased by 25%, which is decent. It's got a little health there, which is okay. Sticky bomb, but then I believe I modded into the mod slot here to get an extra mod slot, which is 100% stamina and 1000 skill power. It's a very dope little mod that I created. On the backpack, I got this backpack earlier today or yesterday, can't exactly remember when, and it's got 5000 skill power on it. Another sticky bomb bonus. I would have rolled out of this right here, unfortunately. I would have loved to, but what I did is I rolled into the mod slot so I can get more stamina on my gear so I can meet those requirements. And then on my gloves are relatively new. Once again, the gloves are insane. Critical hit chances increased by 13% against targets out of cover. That's awesome. Again, just sort of fits the build. Make sure that critical hit chance is ridiculously high. And then it has SMG damage, another hit set of critical hit damage, 8% health on kill, and Seeker Mind damage. Unfortunately, I had to roll from electronics into firearms on this one. I would have loved to get rid of this Seeker Mind damage and put on, say, sticky bomb damage. So that's something to work for gloves. And then finally here, the operator holster. It has sturdy. Sturdy perk is okay. I play a lot in cover, but I don't know if I stay in cover for more than 10 seconds. So it is something for me to look at. The protection from elites is, whatever. Sticky bomb damage is beautiful. I'm loving how hard this thing can hit. And then here, another rolled into a mod slot. And so overall, what you have is a decently high build. Don't mind the stamina stat. It's lying to you right now. It's not 1300. It's around 2000. But even with low electronic power, I'm still sitting at a relatively high skill power, which is awesome because it means that my health packs, even the non-surge overheal health pack, can still pretty much heal for 30 to 40k. The RFB mod on the sticky bomb hits for around 130, 140k. That's not even taking into account the bonus mods on the gear. So all in all, I would say that this is a very cool build. I was trying out an electronic only build, but honestly, it's not that good. The reason it's not that good is because the sticky bomb damage and the Seeker Mines still just don't do enough damage to players. And there's a certain amount of diminishing return where if you're running a heal station or even a first aid, you're throwing it at players, you can just simply overheal them to a ridiculous amount where it almost doesn't make sense to run that much electronics. I was up to like 2,500 electronics really testing things out. And there is a huge difference. I want to be clear, there's a very big difference, but I really need to fine tune the build a lot more before I give you guys something solid. So right now, I think this is going to be my pretty standard balanced build. Again, the stamina is lying to you. It's really like 2,000. But this is a pretty, I'd say, overall balanced build. It's very effective so far. It allows me to do a lot of damage with the sticky bomb, and again, allows me to get a lot of heals off. What do you guys think? Let me know. A little bit of a longer video. And you guys are beautiful people. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Talking bands, I got it. Benjamins in my pocket. I traded my truth for some robbers, and he's playing Batman, but he's gonna rob him. Yeah, I got the Glock in my robbery. 17 shots, no 38. Yeah, I got the Glock in my robbery. 17 shots, no 38. Yeah, she's fine. Wondering